Hey, sixth graders. We are working more today with our part over whole, percent over 100, but today we're going to do some real world problems. So first off, our learning target is we are going to solve real world problems about markups and discounts. Now, if you're not sure about some of the vocabulary, we are going to define a few things that you might see today in your story problems that maybe you didn't know before. So our next thing, vocabulary. We have three words that we're going to focus on: interest, discount, and a markup. So we have to know what these are in order to be able to solve the problems, because if we don't know what direction we're going or what we're finding, then that doesn't help us at all. So the first problem is interest. If you don't know what interest is an extra or added money that you have to pay. Usually you have to pay for an item, or sometimes if you have loaned somebody money, then they have to pay you interest. So the best example, like I just said here, was loans, like when your parents have to buy a house, or maybe you have to buy a car. If you don't have all of the money right when you buy it, you have to do what's called a loan, which means they add interest. You add extra money that you have to pay for that. The next one is a discount. A discount would be the a percentage off of an item, like a sale item. So, for example, the total has to be less than the original price. When we do these problems, we're going to ask ourselves, does this answer make sense? And if you were doing a discount problem and you got an amount that was more than the original, then that wouldn't make any sense, because a discount means you're getting a sale price, so it should be less. The opposite of a discount is a markup, so it's percent added on to that item. So for instance, when we pay tips, like at a restaurant, or we have taxes on things that we buy at the store, the total is going to be more than what it originally was supposed to cost, because it's marked up. It has a markup. So for instance, again, we'd have to think about our answer. If the answer was less than the original, we did something wrong with our markup, because the answer has to be more. Now, a reminder of our formula here. Our formula for discounts, markups, interest, all that stuff, it is part over whole, percent over 100. So our formula over here is in our box, part over whole, percent over 100. We just kind of have to figure out what we know and plug in those parts, and then we'll always have that one missing piece, which is what we're finding. So we're going to do a couple of examples here. 2 examples to be exact. Our first one says a shirt is on sale for 20% off, and it originally cost $25. What is the new price? So this one would be a discount because it's a sale item. So we're going to highlight, circle, underline all of our important information. It is 20% off. It originally cost $25, and we want to know the new price. So if I'm plugging this into my part over whole, percent over 100, the percentage is easy because it has a percent sign next to it. So we have 20 over 100. Now when we're thinking about what's the part and what's the whole, the total, the original cost is what is like your whole. So my whole is $25, and I'm looking for that percentage, which is just a chunk of the whole. So I'm looking for the part. Now, we can do a couple of things here. We can do our cross multiply and divide, or we can do the rainbow sometimes. Usually the rainbow is not going to work, so I'm not going to show it with the rainbow, because more often than not, that's not going to work. So we are going to cross multiply and divide. So 100 times x gives me 100x. I just write those together. So we have 100x equals 20 times 25 is going to give us 500, I believe. 25 times 20. Yep, so that one's going to be 500. Now, if we don't know that, obviously, we might have to do a little problem over here on the side and do 20 times 25 until we figure out that it is 500. Now we solve for x. So right now it says 100 times x, which means we have to divide by 100 on both sides. 500 divided by 100 equals 5. So x equals 5. Now be really careful. This is not your final answer, because they want to know what the new price of that shirt is. We just found the part. This is just the part. That's the discounted amount, like $5 is what you save on this shirt. So that's not the new price. So right down here underneath, I want you to write this. It says for a new price, you would have to subtract the part from the original. So my original cost up here was $25. That was what my shirt was supposed to cost. I saved $5 on the sale because that was the part. So my new cost is going to be $20. So that's what I'm talking about when I say be really careful. Like, for instance, my discounted price needed to be less than the original price. It didn't need to be $5, though. That's just what you saved. You have to still ask yourself, what is the question asking? So our new shirt cost $20 once it had the 20% off discount. Okay, one more question. Your dinner bill is $58. You leave a 15% tip. How much is your bill with the tip? Well, let's highlight, circle, underline here. Bill is $58. You leave a 15% tip. How much is your bill with the tip? Okay, part over whole, percent over 100. The percent part is easy. 15 goes over 100. And then part over whole. Now my bill, that's the complete bill as of right now. Now I know it doesn't have the added on tip in there, but that's my total bill. So that's going to be my whole. Then my part is going to be up here. That's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find what that tip will be. So again, we are going to cross multiply and divide. So 100x equals 15 times 58. I might have to work that out over on the side, but 15 times 58 gives me, I think, 870. 15 times 58. Yep, that gets us 870. And now we're going to divide and solve for x. So divide by 100, divide by 100. Now, I have no idea what 870 divided by 100 is, so we might have to do a little cowboy and the horse action here. 100 is going to go into 800 and something 8 times. And that's going to get me 800. Subtract and we get 70. 100 is not going to go into 70, so I'm going to add a decimal 0, raise the roof, bring it down. 100 will go into 700 7 times. And then we end with our perfect 0. So now we're looking for the part. This is what the tip would be. It's not going to be 8.7. Think about it in money form. That's going to be not 8.7, but it would have another 0 on the end because we have 70 cents. So it would be $8.70. Now that's not our final answer again. Look at our little blurb down here. It says for a new price, you have to add the tip to the bill. So we have to look at what our original bill was, which was 58. And we are going to have to add $8.70 to see what our total was with the tip. So 0, 7, 8, 16, carry my 1. So my total then is going to be $66.70. I asked myself, does that make sense? This one was a tip, so it was a markup. We had tip on the end, so it had to be more. 66 is more than the original, which was 58, so we are good to go. That makes sense. Now, today you're going to do many more problems like these, so you will get a chance to set them up on your own. You can do it. I believe in you guys. Thank you for watching this. I appreciate it, and we will see you soon.